What's up guys, Isnoe here. In this go around I'm going to give some advice on the legend I think newer players in Apex Legends should focus on. I never like to give advice to people that have been playing the game for a while because when you've been playing for a minute, you know you can pretty much make any legend work in your favor, especially if you have a 3 stack. Pretty much every legend in this game is viable, but with every shifting meta it becomes more crucial to have certain legends, especially if you play at the higher ranks. Sure, legends like Wraith are great for solo players and she's kinda cute, but the primary ability takes her completely out of the fight for several seconds, leaving her teammates stuck in a potential 2v3. The ideal Wraith player is a fragger that creates opening damage for her teammates to capitalize on. A Wraith getting a knock or doing a lot of damage, then phasing, is more valuable than a solo Wraith that phases at the slightest bit of damage taken and leaves her teammates in a 2v3 and probably just plays banners or just bleed out because they don't give a fuck. Solo Wraith players are dicks. So legend selection is pretty important, mostly just because it's a team-based game and your success as a team is determined by legend composition and overall gun skill, mostly kind of map knowledge. For newer players, it is totally fine if you fuck around and try every single legend just for the sake of fun, but hypothetically you want to get better at the game. You want to get a solid foundation before you start wall bouncing and Pathfinder super grappling all over the place. Well, and some legends are better for that than others. Yeah, I know. Sometimes we see pros doing some absolute twisted stuff on Lifeline and dropping like 20 plus kills in a pred lobby, but we aren't them. We are not professional players, so just keep that in mind. The current meta is a scan meta, which usually means having a team composed of legends that can gain significant info is beneficial. Bloodhound, as you can see, is the legend I think embodies exactly what most players need to not only be an asset to their team, but also get a decent handle on movement, positioning, and even learning a more aggressive playstyle. Bloodhound's entire kit is geared towards helping you and your team engage in fights and avoid flanks and third parties. Bloodhound's passive lets you see where recent battles have been, with indicators on the ground telling you how long ago whatever the fuck it was happened. Bloodhound's tactical scans a large radius in front of you, pinging any enemies within it and giving you a general idea of their location. Bloodhound's ult, in conjunction with this, completely polarizes your screen, making everything sort of gray out, save for enemies who appear as bright red, and you also move like an absolutely cracked out duck. Not only this, but the ult significantly shortens the time on your tactical, letting you scan multiple times throughout the fight, and at any point during that fight, if you get a knock, the time of your ult is extended for a few seconds and you get to be, cracked out duck for a little longer. This game doesn't have audio, but if it did have audio, pretty much everything Bloodhound does would give off an audio cue, so make sure you aren't making any weird pushes into a full 3-man because odds are they heard you. They are looking for you. Nothing is funnier than a solo Bloodhound rushing in and instantly dying while in ult. It's fun. Bloodhound all around is a character that can be played aggressive, passive, or defensive. Some could argue that Seer is a better alternative to Bloodhound, and that carries some weight. I usually prefer playing Seer in ranked. Seer's passive behaves like Bloodhound's tactical, and his tactical cancels reses and heals, but Seer is really a character that you need to constantly be giving comms to your teammates in order to utilize effectively. And Seer makes you somewhat more likely to rely on visual cues instead of audible ones. Also, this is just a personal gripe I have with the character, but playing Seer is a lot like playing Gibby. If you fail to scan a team or aren't constantly using his passive or toss your ult in a place where it could get destroyed, the loss of an entire fight is on you, whereas with Bloodhound, less responsibilities. It's like you'll notice how sometimes randoms, if you're Gibby and you fail to res them, they'll pretty much blame the entire fight on you, whereas the same thing with Seer. If you just die in a fight, they'll pretty much put the whole blame on you, so it's better to just kind of avoid that. And I think Bloodhound is great for learning the game or just playing ranked randoms. Popping Blood ult and scan rushing a team is a great way to get yourself introduced to a more aggressive playstyle. That's why I'm just throwing Bloodhound in as a suggestion for newer players. If you want to get better at the game and are struggling with legend selection, it's really good to pick a legend that helps your teammates but also helps you. And I think Bloodhound is a really basic, easy to play character that can teach you a solid foundation. Why the fuck are you in zone, you dipshit? I never answer to no, man, I still go.